Rediscovering Gita for the Modern World by Shrikant Soman. Based on essays on Gita by Sri Aurobindo. Start of new chapter 14. The gist of the Karmayoga. Continued from the previous episode 87. Beyond the impersonal, the secret of the Purushottama. Current episode 88. From foundation to full knowledge, the Gita's spiritual path. The structure of the Gita, a progressive revelation. Arjuna's questions, the turning point of the Bhagavad Gita. Key takeaways. The Gita's foundational chapters, the first 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, serve as a foundational block of teaching. They introduce key concepts like desireless action, equality, and the nature of the self. A step-by-step spiritual method. The Gita's teaching is presented not as an intellectual lecture, but as a progressive step-by-step spiritual discourse. It introduces ideas gradually so as not to overwhelm the seeker. Arjuna's intellectual and spiritual questions. The passage highlights that Arjuna's potential objections and questions about Bhakti, devotion, the role of the Gunas and the nature of the Lord, Krishna, serve as the impetus for the remaining chapters. The interconnectedness of works, knowledge, and devotion. Arjuna's questions highlight the relationships between works, karma, knowledge, jnana, and divine love bhakti. The rest of the Gita will explain how these concepts relate to the soul, the immutable self, and the divine Lord. The Lord is both impersonal and personal. The passage reveals the central mystery that will be solved in the later chapters, the identity of the Lord, Krishna, as both the changeless, immutable self and the personal active guide who is here on the battlefield. The first 6 chapters of the Gita are a foundation. The next 12 chapters expand on their ideas. The first part is like a preliminary block of teaching. The later parts work out its hints. If this were a real-life discourse, the teacher might stop here. He would tell the disciple to work this out first. Many concepts in the first 6 chapters are only fully understood later. To explain them, I have already mentioned the Purushottama. This is because without it, some things would be unclear. But the Gita holds back to not overwhelm the disciple. Arjuna might have some objections. He might say, I understand intellectually the destruction of desire. I understand equality and stilling the mind. But you've also mentioned rising above the Gunas qualities. You haven't explained how they work. You've also spoken of Bhakti, devotion as the greatest element, but you've said very little about it. To whom is this Bhakti offered? It must be to you, the Lord. Tell me who you are. Bhakti is greater than self-knowledge, so you are greater than the immutable self. The immutable self is greater than nature and works. What is the relationship between works, knowledge, and divine love? What is the relationship between the soul and nature, the immutable self, and you? You are the changeless self. You are the master of knowledge, love, and works. You are here with me, in this terrible battle. You are my charioteer. The rest of the Gita is written to answer these questions. In an intellectual solution, they must be addressed at once. But in spiritual practice, one advances step by step. Many great things are left to be understood later. The Gita follows this path. It first gives a basis of works and knowledge. This contains elements that lead to bhakti and greater knowledge. The first 6 chapters provide that foundation.